Well, however, like I said, I come to fight, and I ain't gonna let a little cut slow me down. It's just a scratch, really, and...
What do you mean a scratch? How many stitches did you have taken in it?
Well, right now, I ain't saying I've been in there. So right now, ain't no stitches in there. So if it wasn't a stitch, the doctor talked about yesterday, and right now, I'm just saying when they go with the United States, how.
Now you have to fight next, Teofilo Stevenson. He's a terrific fighter. How do you feel about going against him?
Well, I know when I got in this game, and my coach, Ace Miller, told me that. He said, Big John, he said, if you don't be good, you don't have to pay the cost. And when I started paying the cost, to be the boss of the heavyweight division in the United States, and I figured that one day I would have to represent my country in the Olympics. And now I'm here, and I won 2 fights, and I know one day I will meet Steven. And I feel that Steven's a good fighter. I ain't taking anything from Steven. It's just the idea that one is that, I'm going to come out of my hands up, and that's the way I feel. I ain't making any comments saying I can beat Steven, how good Steven is, how bad I'm in. I'm just coming in. I'm just going in and win the gold medal, however.
He has to fight the American John Tate tomorrow. John Tate has a severe cut over his left eye. Does he plan to go right at that eye from the very beginning?
Ok, dice que tiene que boxear con John Tate mañana y tiene no sé cómo se dice, sí, sobre el ojo derecho. ¿Y tiene usted intención para boxear especialmente ahí?
No, yo voy a pelear normal, igual que si no tuviera la herida, porque si yo salgo a pelear sobre la herida, es para cuidarse de la herida nada más y nada más va a ser ese lugar. Yo voy a tirar golpes, igual que si no tuviera herida.
Okay. He said he's going to fight as normal. He's not going to particularly hit right in at the right eye.
George Foreman is standing right behind him. Would he like to fight him?
Dice que quisiera...
My friend.
Domingo, quisiera usted hacer un combate con George Foreman.
Él es profesional y yo soy amateur.
He said George Foreman is professional and he's amateur.
81 kilograms.
Big John Tate, the 21-year-old truck driver from Knoxville, Tennessee, now inside the ring, awaiting the start of action. And look at that left eye, it looks hideous. Start of action against Teofilo Stevenson, defending heavyweight gold medalist. I'm here with George Foreman. And George, frankly, I am worried about John Tate.
The eye is in bad shape. I fear for it now.
Matter of fact, you talked to the team manager, Raleigh Schwartz. What did he say?
He suggested that the bout didn't take place. His suggestion was no fight, but the doctors decided to go on, and the fighter wants to fight, and I believe he can do it if he put his mind to it.
Okay, the bout is underway. The fact is that the chief medical examiner of AIBA, A-I-B-A, Amateur International Boxing Association, said that Tate could fight, and Big John wanted to fight. But Stevenson, so liquidly graceful, so angular, so fleet of foot, and so swift of hands. That's what John is going to try to do, muscle. When I talked to Stevenson, he said that he would not aim for the eye, that he would fight his own normal fight, but inevitably the eye will be in the way, I assure you. As George Foreman told you, Raleigh Schwartz, the team manager, did not want Tate to make the fight. But this 21-year-old kid has a dream of gold, and he was determined. He has to go down fighting. That's the way it will be. First round action, about a minute gone. Look at that left by Stevenson. Clicking, darting left. Exceptional hands for a heavyweight, just exceptional. Every Cuban fighter in the tournament has been exceptional, really. All built the same way. There it is. The right, the quick flashing right, staggering Big John. He's in desperate trouble. He doesn't know where he is. Teofilo Stevenson, this is a knockout with a minute 31 left in the first round. One quick flashing right, electrifying. And poor Big John didn't know where he was. Outmatched by Teofilo Stevenson, who is a cinch to win the gold medal again in the heavyweight classification. He hasn't even had a workout yet, hasn't worked up a sweat. in this, the third of his 3 matches. Nobody's put him to any kind of test. What dynamite in the hands of all of these Cuban fighters.
He takes over a flag to the other opponent.
Took over the Cuban flag to Big John Tate, as George Foreman just told you. And George, it was purely and simply no contest.
Stevenson is the champion in all kinds of ways.
A tremendous fighter. A pity he couldn't come to the States and turn pro.
He has it all. I mean it.
When I asked him about it, he said, well, he's an amateur and he wants to remain that way and he wants to stay in Cuba. And we talked about the millions of dollars he was giving up. He still didn't give us any further reason, just loyalty to the native land. But what would happen if Stevenson did come to the States and turn pro? How close is he to you as we're on camera now, George?
Stevenson is about as better fighter I've ever seen, professional or amateur. I haven't seen this much class and skill in a professional ring in a long time, nor in the amateur. Tate is a tremendous individual, too.
Tate
Can't
is
take anything away from him.
game kid, but no chance against the class of that guy.
Stevenson would undoubtedly become champion of the world professionally if he decided to.
Are you telling me, George Foreman, that he could come up and beat you and Ali?
He could come up and be champion of the world. It doesn't matter who he beat. He has the skill and the qualification anytime he wanted to become champion
How much
of the world.
time would he need as a pro to be able to do that?
Well, he'd have to be hungry, first of all. He just needed enough time to get hungry.
Okay, George. That's it from the Maurice Richard Arena. A first-round knockout of Big John Tate. The first real right thrown by Stevenson did it, and poor John didn't know where he was. So Teofilo Stevenson remains in 1976, not just as good, but maybe even better. He himself told me he had improved over the past 4 years based upon the experience he had acquired. So that's the story. George Foreman here with Howard Cosell at the Maurice Richard Arena.